Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Marhar Lumberjack X. That's right, the Lumberjack with camber. This board features Marhar's Camber All Mountain, which is a mellowed out camber that comes down just outside the insert pack, then flattens out right before the tip and tail up kick. Basically camber 2.0, so it's going to have the load and pop of traditional camber, but be a little more loose and playful out in the tip and the tail. This board is available in 3 sizes, 152, 155, and 158. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a day that had overcast skies, cooler temps, some wind. There was chunder snow, icy snow, a little bit of fresh snow, and I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. So this board has a middle of the road park flex to it. Predictably, softer tip and tail, stiffer midsection with a lot of torsional flex to it so you can really twist it. Now with this board being wider and having a camber 2.0 camber profile to it, it's relatively stable. You do get a little bit of chatter out in the tips, and some of that does slightly resonate back underfoot. In really rutted out terrain, this board just wants to stay on top of everything, so if it's really just chundery, just craggy shit like that, you're gonna get bucked around, you're gonna feel it, your back and knees are gonna take a bit of a hammering. Just be prepared for that. Now, this board is lively yet damp, which is nice. I love it when a company does that because it doesn't feel like a dead, lifeless turd, and it still has that feel that you want and response. With it being a camber 2.0 profile, you do have to load it up a little bit. Now, the nice thing is you don't have to aggressively load it to get snap. Is it the snappiest board out there? No. But it feels like a board that you've ridden 100 days already and you know how it's going to respond. So when you load it up, it hits that flat section, which acts like a springboard, and you get pop. Same thing can be said with jumps. Once again, not the snappiest thing out there. The lip will do a little bit of the work, but you're still going to be able to pop with it, no problem. So the optimal sweet spots in the nose and the tail are right where that flat section is, right after the camber comes down. You want to get your weight out over it, and you're going to be able to lock it into a butter. Now, the camber section is going to fight you, so there's going to be a little snap and rebound. So just be prepared. If you do a 180, it's going to lock in, but want to pop right back out. When you do get sideways, it's going to have a little fight to it, but you don't have to overly muscle it to get the job done. The same thing can be said with jibbing. It's that optimal sweet spot for nose and tail presses, and when you get sideways, that camber section hugs perfectly on the feature and feels locked in. With the board being a little more wide than other boards out there, it's super stable when you're going through a kink, and you just feel that this board can handle anything you throw at it. So for being a board this wide, it's actually quick and nimble edge to edge relative to your boot size. I mean, if you're a size 7, you're probably going to be screwed on that, but a 9 and up, you shouldn't have any problem. So that transition will be smooth. Now, the thing is, this board does lose a little bit of power out of the tail because they softened the core this year, so you don't get that added oomph when you try to slingshot out of a turn. I'm not saying that you can't lay a deep trench with it. I'm just saying it's not as good as it used to be. And that's fine. That's not what this board is designed for. Short, tight, quick carves or medium mellow carves are really its strong suit. There are limitations with this. It's when you're trying to go deep and aggressive, you'll see it, and sometimes it may kick out on you. But how often are you going to lay a deep aggressive carve on a board like this? Not too often is probably my guess. So who's this board for? The big-footed, powder-loving, twin riding, camber wanting guy that can kind of get a board that'll do it all. I mean, if you want to be able to downsize on a volume shifted board that's a twin and has camber, here you go, guys. So I don't really know about making this core a little softer. Sure, it's a little more butterable in the nose and the tail, but you lose some of the power that you would optimally want from it. So it's kind of a give and take relationship. Some people might like that. I personally didn't. I like the Lumberjack X with the camber to be more powerful than, say, the regular Lumberjack, which this is kind of going towards. I will say that this is a bit more hooky than the regular Lumberjack in variable conditions, especially under that back foot, where the regular Lumberjack would sort of just slingshot out or go right over it. This just it feels like it's gripped a little bit more, and you just got to be a little more precise, which makes sense because it's a Camber 2.0 camber profile. Overall, still a great solid board. I just prefer the regular Lumberjack than this. Comparable boards: the Spring Break Powder Twin, the LibTech Short Wide, the K2 Party Platter. This has been my review of the Marhar Lumberjack X. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really want to help us grow out what we're doing over here, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.